Okay, so here we are on the main Amplify page, and we're going to scroll down to Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. So we're going to click on that, and we're going to go to subunit 3, which is the Summer of the Mariposas. So we're going to click there. All right, so for this week, this is what we're doing. So you're going to click on lesson 1. You are going to then click on tab 2, discussing first impressions. So this says read along as your teacher reads aloud, highlight any spots where you have a question, feel confused about something, or wonder about something. So obviously I'm not here to read to you. So what you'll do is you'll click on this speaker, and once you click on it, it will read the prologue for you, and you can follow along. So let's say I highlighted a few things already. So if I want to highlight the father left the house, I'll click on that, put a box around it, and then you'll notice this little part comes up. So I click highlight, and I highlighted it here. If I click on it again, I can change the color if I want. And then you'll also see a little tab called Notes. So this is where you could write a note. Maybe you're wondering, why did the father leave? And then you can save that note. There might just be one thing you're wondering about. Just put at least one thing. If you'd like to put more things you're wondering about, that's fine. Now, when you're done with that, just click Save and Continue. And it'll say, after the prologue, students work in groups to answer their questions. So obviously you don't have a group, so you're going to be doing this as a solo person. So what I did was listed any remaining questions. So I went down here and I highlighted what made them feel unsafe. So that's what I was wondering in my note. Okay, what made them feel unsafe? And then I can save that. And I just took that same question and brought it over here. When you're done, you can just update. And that's tab 2. The next tab that we're going to work on during this week is tab 3. And this is writing a prologue summary. So it says work individually and then in groups to list key events in the prologue and then write a summary. So you're going to review the prologue and you're going to list 3 to 5 events that you would include in a summary of this chapter. So what are 3 important points you get from this chapter? And you'll write them there. Then you'll save and continue. And then this right here is going to come back over here just as a repeat, and that's fine. You can then go ahead and hand it in. Okay. Once you hand it in, that's going to automatically take you to tab 4. For tab 4, you're going to write 3 sentences of what you find out in the first 3 sentences in the prologue. So that's 1. We'll do 2, 3, and 4, and you'll hand this in. When you're done with that, you'll go to tab 5 and complete tab 5. On tab 5, this says to highlight the passages where you maybe were confused or had questions. So if you did that in the previous tabs, then you don't need to do that again. Okay, so for number 5, you might not have anything that you necessarily turn in. So then you'll click on next activity and you'll see your list of key chapter events. So in the prologue, you already had maybe written 1, 2, and 3 previously. So you'll take those, 1 and then 2. And what you're going to do here, sorry, there's a truck going by my house right now. And then what you're going to do is here for the chapter numbers, you are going to do chapter 1. This didn't happen in chapter 1. So in chapter 1, you're going to list 3 to 5 key events that happened in chapter 1. And then you're going to give a brief summary. So in a few sentences, what happened in this chapter. Okay. So you're going to do chapter 1, three to 5 events, and then a few sentences about what happened in the chapter as a whole. You're going to do the same for chapter 2 and the same for chapter 3. When you're done, you're going to update that. Okay? So now you're done with lesson 1. Okay? So you did tab 6, 5, 4, 3, and 2. Okay? And then you'll just make sure you always do all the circles underneath here and then save and continue. The only other thing you're doing for this week is you're going to go to back to subunit 3, and then you're going to go to lesson 5, click on lesson 5, and you'll do tab 2 only. Once you click on tab 2, those are, oh, sorry, the tab's being a little crazy. Okay, here we go. Lesson 5 again. Solo, chapters 1, 2, and 3. So click on that. Oh no, it took me to the wrong spot. Okay, so this just malfunctioned right in the middle of what I was trying to do. So you'll do solo chapters 1, 2, and 3. And when you click on this solo, it's going to bring up some multiple choice questions for chapters 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so it's not working right now, but that's all you're going to be doing. So you're doing the lesson 1 tabs I told you, lesson 1, tabs 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then the other thing you're doing is lesson 5, only the solo. And those are multiple choice questions on 1, 2, and 3. And you'll notice when I click on it, it brings up the wrong thing because the system's down right now. So if you have trouble with that, let me know, but that should be multiple choice. Let me know if this helps.